Some of the precision rifle gear you'll need to start shooting in precision rifle matches, next on Midwestern Tactical. I'm Bill Mall and welcome to Midwestern Tactical. Today, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about precision rifle gear and the things that you'll need to be successful in different matches and just becoming proficient with the precision rifle. Over the years, you can see right here in front of you, I've acquired quite a bit of gear. And all of this gear I use pretty much anytime I go to shoot a match. And a lot of it I use just when I'm going out to perfect loads for my particular rifles. So today I thought I would break them down just a little bit, piece by piece, let you know what I've got and a little bit how important it is out there when you're shooting. So I figured, you know, in the precision rifle series or in the precision rifle matches, one of the first things that if you want to get into this sport, you're going to need a rifle. And here sitting in front of you, you see a customized Remington 700 Action that started its life out as a Remington 700, I believe it was a VSS varmint synthetic. I had taken and then shipped it off to TS Customs in South Dakota, where I had a brand new Bartley & barrel chambered in 260 Remington put on it. They blueprinted the action and did everything that you see there in front of you. They put the Duracoat on it for me and a few other different things. So this is a very, very reliable rifle right now. It's a considerable tack driver, and it's one of my favorite rifles to shoot when I'm out shooting in different matches. You can also see that it's in a KRG chassis. I chose this chassis because I was trying to keep the weight down a little bit on it, and it just fit me. One of the things that you need to consider when you're looking at different chassis for rifles, while it is not necessary, you do not have to buy a chassis for your rifle, you want to find something, if you do, that's going to fit you well. The KRG chassis really fit me well, and I've tried several different ones. I have an AICS chassis 2.0 sitting in the safe right now that this actually got moved from. You know, chassis can, you know, vary in price anywhere from a couple $100 all the way up to a couple of $1,000. So you want to be sure you find the one that's going to fit you. Another consideration you need to think about with that chassis are magazines. This one here uses a variety of different magazines. You know, primarily I shoot the AICS magazine, the single stack 5 and 10 round magazines out of it. You know, you're going to need a magazine fed rifle in order to truly compete in these challenges and in these different matches. You know, especially doing mag changes for some of the different ones that require it and shooting more than just, you know, 5 or 10 rounds. So, you know, your chassis systems that are out there now will accept a variety of different magazines, but I would say the standard magazine that's accepted in the majority of them are the AICS magazines. You know, and those magazines run about $70 to $80 a piece, so it's not a cheap magazine to get by any means. The next consideration you have to think about is the optics. Here on top of this rifle, you'll see a Vortex Razor Gen 2. It took me about 8 months to get this scope on top of this rifle, but I will say that I used the Vortex's military purchase program, and it gave me about 40% off on it. So it's an excellent scope. It is the last scope that I have purchased. Prior to this one here, I had two Vortex Razor Gen 1s. Those are both on different rifles right now, and I started out with a Vortex Viper Pst, which is also on my 223 training rifle that I use. Excellent optics, and Vortex has always been there, and if I had any problems whatsoever, especially being down in Madison, Wisconsin, and I'm only about an hour from there, I love going into the showroom and talking to the gentlemen down there, and they've always taken care of me. So, you know, optics are another consideration that you really need to think about. And it doesn't matter what direction you go. A lot of companies out there produce excellent optics. I just choose Vortex. I try to stick with companies that are here in the Midwest and promote their products. All these, you know, all these products that I get and all the products that I review, I purchase. None of these are given to me, so I'm not going to take and hold back. If it's not a good product, I'll let you know. But think about the optics. That's another thing that's very important on your rifle. And you have to have something that's going to hold those optics onto the rifle itself. What I have mounted on this rifle are American Defense Manufacturing. These are the 34 millimeter quick detach ring set that's on, and it's great. I have been moving more and more to the American defense manufacturing stuff just because ADM makes great products. And another company based out of down here in southeastern Wisconsin, whenever I've needed something, all I needed to do is give them a call. They made the recommendation for the scope and the rifle package I was putting together, and I have had it within 2 days when I ordered it from them. So excellent quality. And today there's a lot of manufacturers out there that make rings and products for AR-15 rifles and precision rifles, and I got to tell you, the playing field's been leveled by a lot of them now. And I think ADM is a serious contender in the market, and I have no problem sporting any of their products on my rifle. The other thing you need to look at is a muzzle device for your rifle. Here you'll see I have a suppressor on the end of this. It's a Thunder Beast Arms 30P1. I've had this suppressor for some time now, and I have to say, when Thunder Beast said that they designed suppressors for accuracy, it's not a lie. This has been an excellent suppressor. I would highly recommend any of the Thunder Beast products. They center around precision rifles, and they really know what they're doing in this regard. I am currently awaiting an Omega from Advanced Armament Corp, and I can't wait to try that out. It's sitting in suppressor jail right now until my stamp comes through. So I can't wait to try that out on my other precision rifles. And finally, I have a Harris bipod on this rifle. I also have several Atlas bipods, but these are items that, again, to seriously compete and to seriously shoot these tournaments, you need those items on your rifle. And both the Harris bipod and the Atlas, they're pretty much standards in the market as far as bipods go. And depending upon which rifle I'm shooting, one of them's either sporting a Harris or it's sporting an Atlas. So the rifle is the primary. That's where you have to start. That's your main tool, but you need support equipment to back it up. And I'm going to move the rifle here off the table now, and we're going to go into the different support equipment. So all the various gear that I have that you still see sitting here in front of me, I have to tote that gear around with me, whether I'm going to the range or I'm shooting on these matches. And to do that, this is an older Eberly stock backpack that I've thrown just a couple of other Molly pouches on. This is from a hydration pack here, and this is just a Molly multicam pouch that I use for some of my other gear on it. It's been a great pack. I can't have any complaints about it at all, other than I'm kind of running out of space with it right now. But the point behind it is you're going to need some sort of decent pack that when you go to these different tournaments or different matches, you have a way to get all that gear out there with you and haul it around. The Eberly stock pack is a great one. In the future, I will probably upgrade to something else. I'm kind of a pack junkie, so I'm still trying to figure out what I'm going to use. But very necessary piece of equipment, something that you need to be able to have easy access to the gear you're going to take with you. This one has been for that, and again, excellent pack. Next, bags. You have to have some sort of shooting bags, and more than likely, you're not going to have just a couple, you're going to have a bunch. Here in front of me, I have 3 of my shooting bags of about 10 or 12 that I currently have, just because of the space constraints on the table. But here you can see I have 2 bags here made by Weebad, pretty much, an industry leader in shooting bags. They make a lot of the bags that you see out there in the tournaments today and in the Precision Rifle Series matches, and a high quality bag. They do exactly as advertised, and they sell several different sizes of these bags so that you can really fit it to the different type of barricade you're shooting off of or obstacle that you're shooting off of with your rifle. I also have a rear bag here made by Tab Gear. A little bit heavier, but it's a very solid bag. I've got 2 or 3 of these that I take and use very often, especially when I'm training people with the precision rifle. These are always out with the range with me. So you will have a variety of different bags. That is for sure when you're out shooting these matches. And depending upon, who you decide to go with, you really can't go wrong. They're all really good quality bags, and it's another piece of equipment that's evolving every day. SHOT Show's going on right now out in Vegas, and I'm sure there's going to be a bunch of new ones that are going to be released onto the market. So you can never have enough bags. Safety gear. You got to have hearing protection and you got to have eye protection. I'm fortunate enough now that I wear, well, I don't say fortunate, prescription eyewear, but you need to have a good set of hearing protection. This is a standard set of Motorola electronic hearing protection that I've used, and I use this in a lot of my classes that I teach. These are electronics, so they really take and bring the decibel down so that you can shoot without damaging your ears, but you can also talk to your students or hear what's going on around you. Not my first choice in hearing protection. These are rather old. I'm currently using a set of Shure in-ear hearing protection. I like them a lot better. They fit right in your ears like earbuds from, for listening to music, but they cut out the high decibel noise, still allow me to hear what's going on, but they don't interfere with my cheek weld on my stock. They're a little pricey. I think they're around $200 to $300, but they're a very good set of hearing protection. And if I can, I will wear those primarily in all the matches that I'm shooting, just because they don't interfere with that cheek weld on the stock and they don't get in the way. So invest in a good set or two sets of hearing protection. Definitely have two sets with you when you go to a match. It's almost guaranteed something's going to fail on you, and hearing protection, batteries, whatever it is, have a second set so you have a backup. And that takes into the same thing with eye protection. My shooting glasses now are prescription shooting glasses. These are a pair that I had purchased that didn't need a prescription on them, have different colored lenses for different lighting conditions in it. Relatively inexpensive. I think these are sub $50 shooting glasses. But when you get into the prescription shooting glasses, they get a little bit pricier. But you want to have a good quality pair of shooting glasses. You got to protect your eyes, and you want to be able to have that ability to adjust for changing light conditions. So this is another one of those. Try different types. You'll find out you invest in several different types of shooting glasses. This is probably my third set of regular ones before I had to go to all prescription glasses. So make sure you got a good set of these in your bag with you, and you'll keep your eyes safe there. Toolkit. You have to have something with you that will take, and should you have a malfunction or you need to clean your rifle in really dusty conditions, it's raining outside, you want to be able to have the tools you need to clean that rifle and get it back up where it needs to be. This is just a standard Otis cleaning kit. It's got all the accoutrements I need to ensure that my rifle's clean and I can work on it if I need to. I carry a couple other types of oil with me as well when I'm out on the range. But this always goes with me. It's in my bag. It never leaves the bag. So invest in a good cleaning kit, something you can do maintenance on your rifle with, and you'll be sure that if you should run into a problem, especially at a match, you'll be able to take care of it. This is a Phat Wrench Kit. This is what I use. It's got a torque wrench in it, and it's used for putting scopes on, attaching the actual receiver to the chassis. Anything you can imagine. You can torque everything down to spec, and I bring this along with me to my matches too. I don't necessarily carry this in the bag with me, but I'll have it with, should I have a malfunction with my optics or anything on my rifle that needs the specific pieces or parts torqued down, this has been a godsend. I use this for setting up all of my rifles, putting scopes on my rifles, and really as a small investment. I think it was like $80, $90. And I mean, I have gotten more use out of this than any of my other tools probably that I use. And I use it for my other rifles as well. But the Phat Wrench with the torque wrench in it, excellent piece of kit. Make sure you have something you can use to work on your rifles. Magazine carriers. I talked earlier about AICS magazines. Here's a 10-round magazine this is one that I will take in this carrier. I have its Molly. It'll go right on my belt that I use when I'm in these different matches or out at the range. It allows you to take that extra mag with you, or two if you want to, depending upon the match. There's a lot of different manufacturers out there. Armageddon Gear makes them, Tab Gear makes them. This one here is made by Tactical Tailor. It's your typical multicam. It's got your Molly webbing on the front, again, and it can attach via Molly straps in the back. It holds a 5 or a 10-round magazine very securely. I've never had any problems with losing it or when I'm laying prone on the ground. And I chose the Tactical Tailor just because I think the price point on it was somewhere around $20 to $25, and I could get a couple of them, and it was pretty reasonable. So you're going to want to have an extra mag carrier because there are certain matches that will require mag changes, and you're going to need it. So great piece of gear, just another necessary thing you're going to need. Wrist coach. You need, something that's going to store the dope for your rifle. There are many different ways that you can do this. They make inside the scope cap where you can take and store the dope for your particular ammunition you're shooting. This is a wrist coach, just like the football players would wear. Goes right on the wrist, stores all the data. Not to mention I keep a pencil in there, and I keep a wax pencil too. Keeps it dry should it be raining outside. Again, there's a lot of different ways that you can take and have access to the dope of your rifle. I just choose the wrist coach. This one here is made by Tag Gear, Tactical Assault Gear. Very solid, well-made piece of kit, and again, another piece that goes with me everywhere I go. Your log book, dope book, whatever you want to call it, this goes with me everywhere. Anything and everything that I do with that rifle is recorded in this book. It's also got a suppressor log in it. It's got all my load data in it. It's got the conditions for the days that I was shooting. It is the Bible of the particular rifle that you just saw sitting on the table. If I didn't shoot well in a match a particular day, one of the things I will look at are the weather conditions, the load development, and see if I can bounce it off to seeing, did I match something up from previous shoots that were recorded in this logbook. It'll also tell you if your rifle is starting to take and maybe the barrel's getting a little bit long in the tooth and is getting worn out and you need to change it or swap it out. It is the record keeping for the rifle that you're shooting. Only one rifle goes into this particular book, and this book goes with me everywhere. All of my load development is done in this book, and it's invaluable. You have to have this to keep track of how your rifle is doing, and you'll know when it's shooting well, when it needs to be cleaned, and so on. So get yourself a good logbook for your rifle and a data book, and fill it out. That's one of the most important things. If you don't fill it out, it's not going to do you any good, and it's just an extra piece of kit you're taking with you for no reason. And this is really important. Fill out this information. It's going to help you historically figure out what your rifle is doing. This is a huge piece of kit for load development. This one is a magneto speed. This is the V3. You need to know the velocity of your cartridges, of your ammunition that you're producing for your rifle, or what you're shooting out of your rifle. Without that velocity, you can't build a dope table. The magneto speed is the tool to do it. Now you can get optical chronographs, and I've had several of them. They're just prone to a lot, they're very finicky, depending upon the lighting conditions outside. Is it raining? Regardless, the data that you're getting out of them can be spotty from time to time. I have found with the magneto speed V3, this piece of kit has been reliable for me. As long as you set it up according to the way they tell you to set it up, it will take and give you the data you need, and it's been very reliable. Building my dope for the various cartridges that I produce, and I don't go anywhere without it. It stays in my bag, it stays in my vehicle when I'm going to the range, and all my load development is done with this. So about $300–400 depending upon the model you buy, but you can't go wrong. And without it, you're never going to get the dope for your particular rifle to figure out how you're shooting. With that, logbook, magneto speed, Kestrel. This is the 4500 NV with the applied ballistics software built into it. Another piece of kit that will save your life at a match, and you plug in all of your load data, you plug in your rifle, the velocity, and it will take and plot a solution for you and give you a dope for your rifle, tell you what the wind speeds are. Excellent, excellent piece of gear. They have a newer model out, the 5000 series right now. Doesn't matter. I've got a few improvements over this one, but the Kestrel, when you really get into it and you really want to get some good solutions for your rifle, especially at longer ranges, the Kestrel is going to help you do it. I highly recommend this. They run anywhere from $600 to $800 depending upon the model that you buy. So, consider that into the price of your kit. That takes us down to optics. Over here you'll see I've got 3 different optics. First one is a rangefinder. This is the Bushnell Elite 1 mile arc rangefinder. I've just started testing this one here. I've been in the back where I live. There's a field that I can shoot out to 800 yards. I know there are different ranges for the different locations where I'll put targets. And I took this out a couple of weeks ago just to see how close it was. And I have to tell you, I'm very impressed with this Bushnell. This Elite 1 mile is an improvement over their last model. and it was within a couple yards on every one of my areas that I shot, every one of the targets, from all the way from 100 yards out to 800. So I'm going to be doing a review on this in the future. You're going to see it out in the field a little bit and get some ideas on how it works, but stay tuned. The Elite 1 Mile Arc, excellent rangefinder. Different matches that you go to prior to actually shooting the match, occasionally they will let you glass the target or the stage you're going to be shooting. And depending upon how much time or how much gear I'm taking with me, I will either bring my Leopold, these are the 10x42 binoculars, or I have this Vortex Recce Pro 8x32. This one's graduated with mills on the inside so that you can do some ranging with it. Very solid pieces of gear. This one's nice and lightweight, comes in its own MOLLE pouch. You can attach it right to your bag or on your belt, and it's very clear, as typical with Vortex products, and it goes with me everywhere if I'm not taking my binoculars. But you're going to want to have that, because if they're nice enough to let you take and glass the stages before you shoot it, it's helpful to know where those different targets are going to be, so you're not searching for them under a time constraint when you're actually shooting it. So take advantage of that time they give you when you're on these different matches. Spotting scope. Another item that goes to the range with me every time when I'm especially doing load development, but it also when I'm either helping people learn how to shoot precision rifle or going and having a partner, watch when I'm shooting to see where my bullets are going if I'm missing. This is a Vortex, you can see I like Vortex products. A Vortex Razor HD, this is a first generation. This one here is the, I don't know what the power on this one is, 16x48, 65 millimeter. Instead of having to run up and down to see how your bullets are shooting on the target every time, this will allow you just to stay right at the bench, see what you're doing, and adjust accordingly. And like I said earlier, it'll also take and allow you to see when you're missing, or have your partner who's spotting for you see where you're missing, which will then help you make adjustments quicker. Is it 100% necessary? No, but the further you get into the precision rifle shooting, you're going to find that this is a pretty important piece of gear to have. And that leads me to finally a tripod, and on top of the tripod I have a hog saddle. Now, this is the Manfrotto MT055CX Pro 3. This is the carbon fiber version. It'll hold about 20 pounds. And on top I have a hog saddle. This one here I believe is the, Mod 7. When you're shooting these different stages or you're practicing on your own range, you want to be able to practice shooting in different positions other than just laying prone. This is where the hog saddle excels. You can shoot sitting down, kneeling, and actually practice these different positions so that when you're presented with them at these different stages at matches, you have the tools and you've trained to know how to do it. And there are a lot of matches where they'll allow you to bring this piece of kit with you. This is why I chose the carbon fiber model. I'm going to be doing a review on this and the hog saddle here shortly. I had some concerns with the carbon fiber maybe not being as tough as the aluminum one was, but we're going to give it a try. I wanted to, take advantage of the weight benefit with it. So I also will mount my spotting scope on this when I'm not using it with the hog saddle, just so that I have a solid platform that I can use spotting, the different shots that I'm taking on targets at different ranges, or having my spotter help me out. So another very important piece of gear. Will you need it right away? No, but in the future, if you get into this, it's very helpful. Well, that's a basic breakdown of some of the gear that you're going to need. There's a bunch of items that I haven't covered. This is just kind of the bulk of the stuff that I use all the time. As time goes on, you're going to see me do reviews on these various items and all the new items that I get. These are very integral to getting decent at precision rifle and having the gear that you need to advance and further yourself with it. This took me several years to acquire over time because of the cost, and I'm always updating and improving the gear that I have as time goes along. And I'm sure at SHOT Show, which is going on, like I said before, right now, there's going to be a lot of new products that are released. It's got to work, and it's got to have a good reputation behind it. I don't like buying things more than once, and all these items you see in front of me, I have used a lot, and they've always stood up and worked real well for me. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it was informative. If you have any questions on any of the gear that I have here in front of me, please post them in the comments section below. I'll be happy to take and answer them. If you like what I'm doing on this channel, I think this is my 5th video right now, please subscribe. It would be, it'd be great if I could get some subscribers out there. I'm slowly having people subscribe to my channel as I move forward. A lot of my concealed carry classes that I'm teaching and precision rifle training that I'm doing with people, I'm getting subscribers as well. So, like I said, thank you again for watching my videos, and you can look forward to many more in the future. Thank you.